kick off now. All right, so now I'm going to share my screen. Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, before I start, I would like to ask if you have any question, please do well to jot them out. Jot everything out. So now let's start. The first thing we have to look out for is from where we stopped. Like I said, we are done with this stage one of it, where we are talking about the introduction of what is Forex, the fundamental news, what you need to understand about it, the slogans we use, the terminologies. I'm trying to make a brief summary of what we've done. So I'm only picking out the content of everything. So now let's go to the main topic for today, which is course outline 2, which is for stage 2. Now under this stage 2, we are only going to pick 2 to 3 for today. 2 to 3. Now the first part of it is, what is a PEEP? What do you understand by the word PEEP? Now let's go into in details. I believe we are all ready for starting this stage 2. Like I said, always have your pen and your writing materials with you. So this stage 2 is more of a practical work. We'll be doing more of practicals. Are we together? We'll be doing more of practical. Now, what do you understand by the word PEEPs? As I'm doing this one, we'll be doing the practical aspect of it, little by little, so you guys can understand. Or I've even explained everything here already. You can see it and you can follow up with it if you open your MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. Now, let's stay focused. What is a PEEP? A PEEP is the smallest unit on which a currency pair can change. Or let me just use a standardized unit. Now, using it in a standard way is the smallest amount of which a currency pair on forex markets can change. Now, if you look at this chart beside it by the left-hand side, you see that this is my quotes. Under this quote, we have AUD card, which I explained to you. What does AUD mean? It means Australian dollar. And the card simply means what? Canadian dollar. So AUD card, we have AUD CHF, AUD KPY, AUD SND, AUD USD, Euro USD, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to explain everything to you regarding our content here. And what's the content? What is PEEP? We need to understand the concept of PEEP. What do we understand by it? Bid price and ask price and spread. That's what I'm going to talk about. I will not even touch the spread, but I'm going to explain about it. Now, let's continue. So, the smallest amount of which a unit currency of pair in the market can change, either upward or downward. A single move, that means you're talking about the PEEP. PEEP always entails with the price in the market. Now, so when you open your MetaTrader app, the movements and the changing on the digits of the currency pairs is what we call PEEPs. Now, how can you identify them? Now, you can see that I'm demarcating an arrow showing, let me expand it so you can all see it. Can we all see it now? Very clear. Now, I'm not talking about which pair is this. This is a AUD JPY pair. AUD JPY pair. Now, if you look at it very well, if you notice the differences between the purple arrow and the red arrow, they are different. There's any movement that move in the market. Now, let me take you to a real life section of it regarding these PEEPs. So you guys can all understand the concept of PEEPs. Then we can furthermore with the next thing in the market. So let's go to this point. Not this one, not this one. Okay, let me enter my MetaTrader 5. Okay, now let's look at this, for example, now. Can you all see my screen? Hello, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Now, looking at this chart here, why is it not moving? It's supposed to be moving. The unit is supposed to be moving. It's not moving. Okay. Let me just look at this prime one. Let me just take one, for example. Aha, very good. This one here is moving. The currency are moving. But why is it stagnant? Now, what I want you guys to notice is about the price. Is about what? The price. The price tends to be changing. But I can't say why this one is stagnant. I don't know why. Okay, let me use my evaluation accounts. One of my evaluation accounts. One of my Profem accounts. So let me use this one, for example. Now, as you can see here now, very good. This one is moving. You will notice that, let's look at Euro USD, for example. We have 1.0958 currently now. Is that also? Now, as the market tends to come down a bit, it's changing towards 5.7. That means the market has changed with 1 pips. Do you get my point? It has changed with what? 1 pips. For any currency that has to do with USD at the back, they always have 4 decimals. The 5th decimal make it to becomes a point. There's a difference between pips and points. Pips, in terms of currency that deals with USD at the back, has 4 decimal at the back. The 4 decimal is what we consider as the price, which is where the pips, the last decimal there is the pips on the 4th decimal. Initially, we see that the market was 5.8. Is that not so? Now it's now at what? 5.5 now. Are we seeing it? I'm talking about Euro USD. Are we all there? Now, under this Euro USD now, you see that from 1.0958, that's what we have before when we entered, they now dropped down to what? 1.0956. That means the markets have moved 4 pips downward. 4 pips downward. Now, let's go back to the class. Let's continue. So, that's what I'm trying to explain at this point here. Now, that changes in pair is what we call pips. Now, do you get it now? The changes in the units is what we call a pip. I said the changes, not the units. Please take notes. The changes that occur is what we call as what? As a pip, depending on the pips. It may be 1, 2, 3. So I believe we all have this thing, MT4 and MT5. So you can be able to observe what pips is all about. Now, pips are calculated from the 4th decimal place, but there are few exceptions, which I'm going to discuss later on. Now, the major pairs, their pips are calculated from the 4th decimal place. Pairs, like you can see, USD card, Euro USD, NSD, New Zealand dollar to USD, and which other one? Euro USD, GBP USD. All those ones, I'm going to give you the list. I'm going to show you the list. All those ones have 4 decimals. Then I said we have exception cases. Exception cases like JPY and gold. The way we calculate their pips is different. For any other pairs that has 4 decimals, this is how we calculate them. Pairs has the following. Pairs that has the following are calculated from the 4th decimal. Thus, is calculated which was 0.001. So if 0.001 is added to that price we saw, which is 1.0958, if 1 should be added to it, it will become what? 1.0959. That means it has added 1 pips. It's going bullish with 1 pips. But if it's to remove, you know that before we leave in, we have it as 1.0956. That means it has dropped with what? 4 pips. Now, these are the currency pairs that deals with 4 decimals. You can see the list: Euro USD, GBP Euro, AUD USD, GBP card, GBP USD, and so on and so forth. But these are the few examples I'm going to list out because they are major. So basically, almost every pairs, but only few exceptions, which I will talk about as we proceed. Now, if you open it down for like 3 minutes, and be observing. You know, we open the chart down, we observe it. While observing it, we see that from 1.0958, the market is dropping gradually to 57, 56. Is that not so? And we don't know now, if you should go back now, it might have dropped below or it might have had above. Are you getting my point? So if you should open the market down, just keep observing. You can open your MetaTrader after this section. Open it, try to observe. We are going to have an assignment today. We'll be having an assignment today for everyone. So once you open it, you now observe, okay, I learned so things about pips today. How does it work? Is it the first one or the second? Leave that. Either the first or the second. Forget about the ask price or the bid price, but just take one part of it. If it's the ask price you want to look at it vividly and try to understand how the market is moving. Is it adding up? Is it subtracting? Okay, these ones are 4 decimals. I've observed how they work. I know what pips is. I know the difference between pips and points. Are you getting it? Then from there, we cannot be able to move ahead. Now, by observing it, you will notice that it's different in those numbers going up and going down, changing with respect to color. Also, blue means buy and red means what? Selling. That means whenever the market is showing you blue, why the numbers are changing, blue, going up, blue. That means the market is buying. But if the color of those price is changing to red, if you notice the price was changing to red, that it dropped down to what? 1.0956. That means the market is selling. So all these pairs are calculated from the 4th decimal. That means from the last decimal. Some broker will show you 5 decimal. And why the 5th one will be like power? If you notice the one I just opened now, it looked like what? Power at the top. Why some we only show you only 4 decimals? Example is what we have here in this chart here. Now let's take GBP USD for example and explain it and explain how it works. Now looking at GBP for example, the current price of GBP USD here is what? 1.3019. So let's say the market moves with 1 pip. How will you calculate it? There are 2 ways of calculating it, and I'm going to explain those 2 ways of calculating it, either in a layman understanding or in a scientific calculation method. So now let's calculate the new value by adding 1 pips up. That means we are buying. Do you get it? So like I said earlier, the pips are calculated from here, from the 4th decimal. Now let's proceed. So therefore, 1 pips is equivalent to what? 0.001. Please take note of it very well when calculating for GBP USD, Euro USD, GBP CAD, GBP whatsoever currency. The exceptional ones are the JPY and gold. I'll explain to you how those ones work as well. So let's continue from here. So if you're adding 1 pips to the current price we have here for GBP USD, and the price here is what? 1.3019. If we should add 1 pips to it, and we are targeting what? The last pips. That's where it started from the 4th pips. That's where we calculate it from. Now, the current value is what? 1.3019. Thus, 1.3019 plus 0.01, because we've added that 1 pips to it, is mentioned from the what? From the 4th decimal. So it's going to give us what? 1.3020. This is the layman understanding of how to calculate pips. Therefore, our new unit is going to be what? 1.3020. Alternatively, you can simply add just 1 to the 4th decimal of that unit. Just add 1 pips to the back. Simple and straightforward. It's going to give you your answer direct. So there are 2 ways of calculating the pips, either a long method or a short method. So it's always good to use the long method, because at some point, the short method could give you wrong answer with some pairs. You may get confused with some pairs, whereby you have wrong answers. Do you get it? So I believe we are all getting the concept. Are you all getting it? Please just unmute yourself and let me know. Yes, I'm getting the point. Hello, are we all getting it?
Yes. I'm getting it.
Okay, very good. Now let's continue then. Since one person has answered, that means it has answered for others. So let's proceed. Now, in the reverse case now, in the reverse case, if the market is going downward, how do you calculate the pips? Now, if you are calculating pips for a downtrend with that same pair of GBP USD, we'll subtract the number of pips from the current value. Unlike when we are calculating for the uptrend, where we have to add to the value. So please take note of this. Uptrend, you add. Downtrend, you subtract. Now we are dealing with a downtrend now. So finding the new value of GBP USD at the current price of 1.3019, moving 1 pips downward. That means you are removing 1 pips. The market is selling downward. So we have it like this. This is the long method. You have to write it out. The number of pips you want to calculate. Then, with the current price you are having, either you are adding or you are subtracting, depending on what you want to calculate. But yeah, we are subtracting now because we are going down trade. We are removing 1 pips from the current price. So by doing that, you see that we have 1.3019 minus 0.001, which is going to give us what? 1.3018. This is a long method of calculating it. That's why I always say a trader who wants to be successful in the market must see trading as a business, not as a gambling. The business aspect of it is that you must have your trading journal. Whatever, anything you are doing in the market, you take note of everything, you jot them out. The price you want to enter, why do you want to enter this price? What's your confluence? What's your authentication? What gives you this confirmation that enter at this point? From your technical analysis. And if you're a fundamental analysis, what is the news telling you? Okay, this is what the news is telling me. I'm going to enter after I see the data. Okay, the data says the market is bullish or the market is bearish. Okay, I'm taking my decision as entering at this point. You jot it out. I enter at this point. I'm closing at this point. This is my stop loss at this point. From there, you'll be able to understand the risk to reward ratio you're applying. Sorry, I've diverted a little bit. Now, let's go back to the shortcut method now. So if you have to calculate for the downtrend of 1 pips from the current price, just subtract 1 from the last decimal, the 4th decimal, just subtract 1 away. It's going to give you what? The same answer as the long method. So calculating pips started from here, from the 4th decimal. Thus, we have what? 0.001. Note, when it's uptrend, you add. But when it is downtrend, you do what? You subtract. So are we all on the same page now? Are you getting the concept? Hello, are you all getting the concept?
Yes,
Yes,
go
but
on.
Okay, very good. I can't see the main channel. I'm only on my screen here. I'm sharing my screen, so I can't know if everybody is with me. I don't want to fuck up just like on 2 days ago. I don't want that kind of scenario again. So now I have to create. Now, when they say something is uptrend, it means whenever the market is going up, that means a candlestick is going up in blue is a uptrend. Why whenever the market is moving down, the candlestick going down will show you red from your quote, from the chart. You see it. It's indicating that it's a downtrend. Now, I mentioned earlier about calculating the pips, which we use what? 4 decimal, but there are some few exceptions in the market. Let's look at USGPY, for example, now, the Japanese yen currency. Now, the new look is this particular pair. You can look at USJPY, CAD JPY, Euro JPY, GPP JPY. They have the same format of price. Now, the JPY pairs are calculated differently. So if you open your MT4 or MT5 later after this class, please observe carefully. Look at it carefully, like 3 to 4 minutes of your time. Observe the price very well. Then you see that there are slight difference in the units of the JPY pair comparing to other pair like the GPP USD, Euro USD, and the likes. Now, how do we calculate them? USJPY is different from JPY or Euro USD in terms of their decimal numbers. Are we together? So these are the critical parts that deals with caution. You must be very careful at this point here. While calculating your pips, everything in the universe works with calculation. Even for you to leave your house, going to your office, it has a total kilometer you are walking. Everything is based on calculation. The meal you take in the morning has calculation for your body system. The calories you are expected to burn for a day, it has calculation, or else food will be stored as fat in your body system if the calories are not burned very well. So all what I'm trying to say is that whatever you do in the market is based on calculation. You must be very smart. Be selfish to the market, but don't be greedy to the market. That's always my quote, what my boss taught me. And I always keep on saying it anywhere I go. Now, pips for JPY, they are calculated from the second decimal place. So whenever you are dealing with JPY pairs, always keep it in mind that its pips are calculated from the second decimal point. Thus, that means we'll be having what? 0.01. Now, let's see an example. If you have to calculate for USJPY at the current price, which is what? The current price here. Okay, this is EURJPY. You can see the current price now. So, sorry. Okay, you can see the current price here now. The current price here is showing what? 104.83. It now have a subscript, a superscript of 3. That superscript of 3 indicates point. That means you are having 3 points. Do you get it? But we are dealing with pips. That means we will neglect that power of 3 because we are dealing with pips. And the pips tell us that whenever you are working with what? Any pairs related to JPY, you start your calculation from where? From the second decimal. So whatever anything behind the second decimal is not useful. They are not useful. So now let's proceed. Now, as we said, we are having what? 104.84, making up a move in 2 pips. That means we are calculating a buying market of 2 pips from this current price. How do we calculate it? With the short way of doing it, you just simply add 2 to that 4 at the back of 104.48. That 84, you add 2 at the back of what? 84. It will now give us what? 86, which is being calculated here. That's the short form of it. But remember that we only added 2 pips to the second decimal number at the back. Now, alternatively, now let's do the long method. So because you are calculating for 2 pips, so it's going to become what? 0.02. If you are calculating for 5 pips, it's going to become what? 0.05. But here we are dealing with what? Only 2 pips added. So 2 pips added simply means what? 0.02. Then adding it with the current price that we have is going to give us what? 104.86. You can see that both the shortcut method and the long cut method of calculating it are the same. But remember, we are calculating for what? For an uptrend. That means we are adding. But we are calculating for a downtrend. That you are calculating for a downtrend. Even you can use your calculator to do the calculation manually. And if you are very good with mathematics, you can do it without even calculating. You can just use your head to calculate it. And if you say that you are going to be confused, you can use your phone calculator to calculate it. So calculating JPY in a downtrend, that means we are going to remove what? 2 decimal away from it. Do you get it? Remove 2 decimal. But here, you take that. Don't worry, I'll give you assignments. You take that for an assignment. Don't worry, I'll give you assignment. So now let's calculate from the current price. If we are to remove 2 pips, that means we are going downtrend. That means we are going to do what? Minus. Instead of plus, it will become what? Minus. Now, if you calculate everything together, it's going to give us what? 104.82 because we are moving downtrend from the current price. Are you getting it? Sorry, I didn't write it here. I just said you should calculate the pair from the second decimal. You get it. Calculate it. Then, in order to save time, so let's go to the next pair. So this exception pair is just like this Japanese currency, but gold is totally different. Gold can be written in 2 ways. You can write gold as the way we would write it, and this is the short way of writing gold in the market. Some broker will write GOLD, and while some broker will write XAU USD. That means gold to US dollar. Are we together? So in the FX market, we represent gold with XAU USD. So let's see how we calculate the pips of gold. Now, sorry, please, 1 minute. Okay, gold is calculated from the first decimal. Can you see how crazy gold is? Gold is calculated from the first decimal, which simply means what? 0.1. So take note, this pair, this commodity, this particular pair, gold, is very volatile. I don't advise people to trade gold if you are a newbie. Ensure to trade Euro USD and GBP. I always tell my students, see, if you want to start the forex market after learning the basics and you understand technical analysis, focus on only two pair. Even if possible, just focus on only one pair, but don't make it more than three. Focus on those 1 to 3 pairs. Study them very well. Understand the kind of movement. Apply your technical setup. Apply them into it. See what the outcome will be. Backtest your strategy before going with a demo account, by backtesting before going into a live. This will help you shape you based on psychology, discipline, consistency, and proper risk to reward ratio management. Please, gold is a very dangerous pair. Be warned. Don't say I no tell you now. Be warned. Gold is very dangerous and is the boss when it comes to all these categories. Please take note. It only deals with what? The first decimal place as its own pips. Any small movement, a little movement is money in gold. So it moves very fast. If you are new, stay off gold or else it's danger. But when you master it, you'll be smiling every day to your bank. You'll be smiling every day. Because just small pips or small move in your favor, you are in big profits. Among currencies, gold has the highest volatility. Let's see how to calculate its pips. When you have to calculate the pips, the pip is calculated from the first decimal. Let's say gold, for example, now, made the pips move upward of 3 at the current price. Now, this is a price of gold. The current price of gold is 1577.43. Now, you are now asked to calculate 3 pips upward. That means gold did 3 pips and above. How will you calculate it? Now, you have to remember that a single pips in gold simply means what? 0.1. Now, you are now to calculate for 3 pips. That means you'll be having what? 0.3. Then that 0.3, you now add it to the current price. So where is it going to affect? It's only going to affect that parameter of 0.43. So that 4 is the 0.1 index there. That's where the pips start from the 4, not from the 3. Meaning that our first decimal is what? Is 4. So we are going to add 3 to that first decimal. I'm using the shortcut method now. I'm still going to explain about the long cuts. Do you get it? So if you add 3 to that 4, it's going to become what? 7. That means gold has moved 3 pips upward, which is going to give us what? 1577.73. So suppose you are calculating the pips in the downward movement from the current price. And the current price you are using is what? 1577.43. So we are going to have 1577.43 minus 3, which is going to give us what? 1577.13. Please always remember that gold pips start with was 0.1. Thus, subtracting 3 from the first decimal of the currency pair is going to give us this answer, this new current price, which is what? 1577.13. Remember, we are talking about financial currency. If we can all remember that we talk about different type of currency. We talk about financial currency, synthetic markets, commodities. So also for the crypto aspect too, there are ways we calculate the pips as well. You need to understand the market. But mostly in the crypto market is based on the current price. The price. Are we together? The current price. So don't worry, regarding that price, we'll talk about it very well. But let's focus on this. Then they are both hand in hands together, both the forex and the crypto. But crypto is the forefather of forex. Sorry, forex is the forefather of crypto. Don't mind me. Pardon me. So we will deal with everything. So still on financial market, let's continue. Please, if you are confused, let me know. Take note of everything. Whatever question you want to ask, take note of everything. Just write them out. That's why I said always have your written materials with you. It's very, very important and essential. So what we've learned today is very, very important. Then I'm going to make a summary of it. I want us to understand these pips, and I'm going to give assignment today regarding pips. Once we understand the pips, then we can be able to proceed ahead to understand ask price and bid price. Ask price and bid price. And these are our day 3. You can see that we are going gradually. As we are going gradually, we are understanding the concept as well. These are the critical points, the scenario parts we need to understand. Now, let's continue. These are the important points you need to note. All other pairs apart from JPY and gold, they are being calculated from the 4th decimal. That is, 1 pips is equivalent to what? 0.001. For any pairs apart from JPY and gold. Now, also, for JPY pairs, it's being calculated from where? From the 2nd pips. That is, 1 pips is equivalent to 0.01. And also for gold, it's calculated from the 1st decimal. That is, 1 pips is equivalent to what? 0.1. And then it is an upward movement. You add 1 pips to the current price. And also, if it's a downward movement, you subtract 1 pips from the current price. So, like I said earlier, I'll be giving a short assignment. So let's try to do it. Then submit in our WhatsApp. Sorry, I'm used to Telegram. We'll submit it to the WhatsApp channel where you submit your assignments, or you can drop a DM. But the best, just drop it in the group, please. The group is going to be very okay. Just drop it to the group. So this is the assignment. I'm going to screenshot it here. I'll be screenshotting it. So we are going to calculate it and drop in the group. So I'm going to stop here for today. Sorry, please. I'm going to stop here for today because of my health. I'm not really strong for today. I'm going to stop here. Sorry, just pardon me. Don't worry. We are going faster, and we are also learning and also gaining from the journey. So this is the assignment. I'll screenshot it, then I'm going to drop it to the channel and to our group rather. Sorry, I'm used to Telegram channel. I'll drop it to the WhatsApp group so everybody can see it, do your assignments, and when next we have our class, you will be all asked to submit, please. I always beat people if you don't submit, and I know how to discipline people if you don't do assignments. That's just me. So please, if you have any questions, please bring it up. Let's solve that one first before moving ahead. The floor is open, please. Hello, are we all there?
All right,
Yes, you are.
good
Yeah,
evening.
so please, if you have question, please ask your question. Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, you said that if somebody is a newbie, that there are like you said, the person should not go to gold or should not take gold rather. So, as a newbie, which pair or which token, which currencies do you think one should start with as a newbie?
You have my reasons, and I can tell you thousands of.
So, since we lost you,
We can't hear you any longer, Mr. Mashud. Hello, Mr. Mashud, are you here?
I think network is not too good on this side.
Okay, are
Hello?
you here now? Mr. Mashud, can you hear us?
It's not still back.
Well, I think, okay, let's just give him some minutes. Hopefully he'll be back. Mr. Mashud, if you can hear us, we can hear you. So I'll suggest you log out and join back. Hello, please let's give him some time, please. I think he has logged out, so he will soon join us back. Just for him to conclude the class before we call it a day.
Is he back?
No, he's not. So, but he'll soon join us back. I think his what's it called? His network is having issue at the moment, so I think he's restarting his phone or something. I don't know, but then he'll soon join us. Let's give him like 2 to 3 minutes. He'll soon be with us. But before he joins us, if we have any question, please we can ask, or probably we'll drop a chat, please. If there's any question, if there's anything we're not clear with, please. Okay, Mr. Mashud, you're welcome back. Can you hear us now? Hello, Mr. Mashud, can you hear us? Okay, Mr. Emperor Chris, please, you can speak on, please. Mr. Emperor Chris, you are raising your hands, please speak up.
I think the network is bad.
I thought as much. Mr. Chris, if you can hear me, you are raising your hands. If you have any question, please speak up, please. Hello, Mr. Mashud. Okay, I think network has logged him out again. Please, if you have any question, please, can we drop it? I want him to conclude so that he can give whatever task he wants to give out before we call it a day.
If you have any, drop it in the group chats.
I think that's what happened since network is not really good over there.
Zoom.
Okay.
And for the person who asked the question, so I think your questions will be attended to, because I don't want to give an answer to the question you asked. I want him to to address the question directly. So since the network has logged him out and we can't hear him again, so I think we should just end the meeting now. So we can call it a day. So thank you all for joining the meeting. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Really appreciate your time and your participation. So hopefully whatever information we need to pass across will be shared on the group. So we can end the meeting now.
All right. Thank you very much, admin. Thank you.
Also, sir, hello everyone. Also, if Mr. Moshood will be coming up tomorrow, we can use tomorrow to treat anything that relates with question and answer. So if you have any questions or anything you would like us to treat, you can prepare everything down. Then by tomorrow, we can treat everything at once. So thank you once again. Thank you, CEO. Thank you, everyone. You can end the meeting now.
Thank you.